And we're live. Are we live on Instagram though? Just gonna wait a little bit, guys, to see what's going on. Make sure I got everything. Oh no, I have to go on Instagram and put myself live. Go live. I think I figured it out this time for Instagram. Perfect. Can you guys hear me? Just want to make sure my audio and video is good. So I see Facebook and YouTube are on. I just don't see the Instagram comments, but I don't know if I am working on Instagram. Perfect. I just can't see the Instagram feed at the same time. So we're gonna have to do the same thing we did last time, is you're gonna have to kind of, hello everybody on Instagram. It's so nice to see you on my computer. I just have to switch between my tabs. Again, we're gonna give it a couple minutes, guys, before I actually start talking. I just want to see if we can get some more people populated in the feed or in the live. All good. Leatherwork, yes. And I'm assuming those yeses was to audio and video. You guys can see me good, hear me good. Nothing's too loud, nothing's clipping or anything like that. Ooh, cool quest in the house. What is up, y'all? Perfect. I wonder if I could get... Hello. If I can get you on a separate page. I'm using StreamYard as like my streaming software, and right now I can see all the YouTube and Facebook comments. I just don't see like in one feed, but I can't see the Instagram ones, which is kind of a bummer that I have to bounce between both tequila, no, apple juice. Yes, we can. Nice sweater. Thank you. Just starting my leather work. What are you working on, Noah? Joined. Okay. I'm just going to see if I could pop up my phone so I could see the comments. I think you can see it on your phone, right? I'm going to get started in a few seconds here, guys. Don't worry. I'm not going to drag this on. Okay. Yeah, so you're good on Instagram? Mm-hmm. All right, so welcome back to my second ever live stream. I always find it awkward at the beginning of these. I have like the jitters and the butterflies because I never know how to actually start and what to talk about right off the bat as my intro. So I'm just going to literally take it back to the very beginning of who I am. I don't know if most of you guys are followers for a long time or if you're newer to my channel, but little introduction. My name is Brittany. I am a leather worker, obviously, and I run a small business with my husband. We also have a second YouTube channel. It's an outdoor channel. I'm not going to go too much into that, though. We're going to kind of stick to the leather stuff today. And so, yeah, that's pretty much me. I'm a startup business. So I'm just trying to kind of get things going, which is why I'm doing live streams. And if you've noticed, I've been posting a lot on Instagram, on Facebook, doing my best with YouTube. YouTube's a longer form content, so I find it's hard to kind of keep up with YouTube. But I'm just trying to grow my business and get my name out there. I hope it's working. I hope you guys do find my content entertaining. Throughout this, guys, I'm hoping to kind of keep this to an hour. Don't want to go too much longer than that. Don't want to drag it out. But if you have any comments or questions, just shoot it in the feed, just so I can see it. Make sure you write, like, I see a lot of people on live streams do this, but write a question before your actual questions. That way my eyes can actually like bounce to it a lot quicker. Just making sure everything's going smooth here. Love the freaking nature channel. What's new? What are you working on? Okay, that's a good spot to start. So what am I working on? Last time I showed you guys, I was working on a firefighter strap. I have finally officially finished the entire strap and the radio holder. So I guess I could show you guys that real quick. So I got this, this, and this. So this is going to bring me to a question. One thing I wanted to try with this live stream is I want to ask you guys questions because, like I had mentioned, I'm learning, very new to business, fairly new to leatherworking. So if you guys are crafters, actually that's question number one. Are you guys leather crafters or crafters in any sort of realm? If you guys can just put it in the comments, say yes, I'm a leather crafter, or no, or whatever you guys are here for. I just want to know what you guys do. So type that in. I want to see. I'm just curious. So anyways, so my firefighter strap belt. I showed you guys this part last time. Pretty straightforward. A little clip on one side. This is the other piece for it. My red liner that I'm super proud of. But this is what I worked on for probably all day yesterday and kind of finished them up today. So I made a radio holder. To fit a radio. Now, I was asking you guys yesterday, I don't know if you saw my story, a lot of radio holders, they use an elastic band to hold the radio in. I have one at work. If you guys don't know, I am a paramedic, so we carry radios. And the elastic band always just stretches out. And we end up just like wrapping it around the antenna of our radios and just, it's a pain in the butt. So I'm trying to think of an alternative. So I was thinking paracord. I think maybe red paracord would look really cool. Another thing with this is the firefighters want to be able to see their screen. So I had a lot of people suggest like a leather flap one on top, but then it would hide the screen, so it just wouldn't work. So if you guys have any idea, like any other idea, let me know. Now, what? That's where I'm going. So I have these rivets here. They're made out of brass. I forget what the actual name of the rivet is called, but like it's a long post and then you put like a little washer, you set the washer in, and then you're supposed to clip off the posts. I have 3 sets of snippers or bolt cutters, and I cannot for the life of me snip these things off. And it's not just me, it's my husband. He can't do it either. So it's not because I'm weak. It's, I don't know, they're made out of gold or something because you cannot cut them. Gold soft. Gold is softer than brass? Anyways, I'll show you guys what I mean. I'm gonna embarrass myself in front of you guys. So I had these and they just don't cut. I could probably turn red. Watch this. It's gonna snap right in front of everyone. It's gonna make me look real bad. Like I dent it. Oh, it's gonna cut. Oh. But like there's gotta be an easier way. So surprisingly that worked, but I swear there's some of them that are really, really hard to do. I have these ones. Gonna give it a go. You need snippers with a longer handle. Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking too, because I got these, and these were actually from a leather supplier. I think I got them from OA Leather Supply. CS Osborne and Co. I don't know what it is. Anyways, so I figured they're obviously made to cut these kinds of rivets, but they're horrible. Like these hurt my hand. I haven't successfully punched through anything with these. So yeah, if you guys have a brand, or someone mentioned the longer handles, for sure I had thought of that. I just haven't found one. I mean, maybe I haven't looked hard enough, but if you guys actually have a legit brand or type of snippers or bolt cutters, please let me know, because I have so many. I have 2 on each of these radio holders, 4 I think on here, and 2 on here, times 4. So I have a lot of stupid little rivets to cut. So help me. Anyways, that's what I've been kind of working on. Just gonna make sure I didn't miss any suggestions or anything here. Knipex brand. Don't cut the rivets, grind them. I would need a grinder. You need nippers with longer handles. Check out with Ferrier Supply Shop. Okay. Okay. You need cutters that work like scissors, slide action. You can get them in all sizes. Knipex cutters work great. Okay, so it's the second person that says that. I'm gonna write that down. I don't have a pen. Knipex. Sorry, guys. No, this is why I'm doing these. I want to learn from you guys just as much as you guys may learn from me. I do not know everything. Knipex, and someone else said something. Okay, I'll go back and write that one. You need cutters that work like scissors. Knipex cutters work great. Could be the type of rivet metal. So it's brass. Like I've seen so many YouTube people use them and they just like boop, they snap like nothing. So I don't know what the deal is with these things. Hello. A Dremel too. Dremel tool. To grind it off, I guess. I'm assuming. Maybe that's why they're so hard. Question. You're very fast at pattern making. Can you explain your process for cutters use Knipex? Okay, I gotta definitely get, probably saying it wrong. Knipex, definitely gonna look into those because everyone's suggesting that. Titan tool, miniature bolt cutters, Titan tool, I'm read that too. Titan tool. So someone had a question about my process that I'm really fast. I'm fast in my videos. I'm not fast in real life. When me and Tunis make a video, it takes us like maybe 3 days to actually film the entire video. I just wear the same clothes to make it look like I did it all in one day. So my pattern making is not actually fast in person, but I understand you're probably saying it's fast in the video, so it might be hard to kind of keep up on what I'm doing. And honestly, a main reason why I'm like that is because I don't actually have a pattern or a specific method on how to measure my sheaths. I've kind of gotten into a little bit of a groove of how I start, but then I end up tweaking as I go. I think it works, and then I have to like cut some pieces off to make it better. So that's kind of why it's quick paced. I kind of just want to give you guys maybe some inspiration on how to do it and not necessarily the actual method because I'm not there yet with a specific method. I hope that answers your question. Probably not the exact answer you're looking for. But I do eventually, I had mentioned this in my last stream, I want to do more how-to series. So when I get a little bit more comfortable with how I do my patterns and lay them out, I'm going to do a full-blown, it's probably going to be a really long video, but an actual how to make a knife sheath. And again, there's so many different kinds of knives out there that, again, I don't actually know all the parts of the knives and stuff, but some have the handle and then they have like little like a hilt before the blade, and I find making sheaths for those are a lot more difficult than let's say just like a normal like Mora knife that doesn't have anything, is pretty straight. So I'm learning all the time with pattern making, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll get there one day and I'm hoping to be able to share that with you guys. I actually, which makes me think of for an idea for a live, I was thinking of maybe it's going to be more of a silent live. I'm just going to be working, and that way you guys can kind of see my process in real time. It might be really boring to watch, but if you have nothing better to do and you're just kind of curious and want to pop in to see where I'm at in my pattern making or my creation, you can kind of just tune in, tune out. So then you really, really get to see all my mistakes, my entire thought process, everything. It would be less me talking and answering questions. It's just going to be me figuring things out, top-down view maybe of my work. Let me know if that's something you guys would enjoy or would be kind of, maybe not enjoy because it would be really boring, but something that you would watch maybe. Just let me know in the comments. I'm just going to make sure I didn't miss any other things here. Dremel tool with cutting wheel. Okay, so I'm getting lots of Dremel stuff too. Question, do you make wallets? So I have tried to make wallets, and for some reason I suck at them. I'll show you my attempts. They're not horrible. I think they're here. All right. So I've been working on wallets probably since I started leatherworking, and for some reason I'm a lot better at working with thick leather than I am with thin leather. I don't know if it's actually the thickness of the leather that is causing me to not be good at this, but I can't get my measurements right. So I really like the minimalist style card holder wallets. So I've made 2 designs here, which I like. I really like the design. I just keep messing up the size and ratios. And I mean, I'm not 100% sold on the design yet, but this is kind of what I'm going for. So I don't know how well you guys can see. I'll show this one because there's more contrast. But it would just be for like a couple slots, put some cards in there. So that's kind of like what I'm trying to go for. I've made 2. And then I really like this style too. So this one has like a vertical slot. Again, this one's way too big for actual cards. So there's a vertical slot, and then I flip it around. There's a horizontal slot, and then there's the middle slot. So I really like this one. I actually have made myself a wallet that I'm using. Slightly too small. This one's slightly too big, but I'll narrow it down one day, and I'm going to start making and selling these guys. Maybe these guys. And definitely these guys. I feel a lot like it's just a traditional bifold, I guess you call it. This one is meant to be vertical. So you put your cards in, flap, and then there's an additional flap in the back. Very simple, but again, this one's too big. It's the closest I've been to getting it, but it's still too big. So yes, I make wallets. No, I don't make them very good. Eventually I'll get it down. I've been so many people sell wallet patterns, and for some reason I'm so against buying patterns. I've bought a couple and I've never used them. I don't know if it like I feel like I'm almost copying them. If I'm going to sell something, I want it to be my own design. I don't want to take someone's design. And some designs, when you buy it off people, they have like a no copyright, of course, where you're not allowed to sell it. It's only for personal use. So I try to steer away from buying patterns. I probably should as like practice, but I don't. Need a little sip. Just gotta make sure I don't miss anything on Instagram. No questions on Instagram. Okay. Question. How has the whiteboard and task board been working out for you? Actually, pretty well. So if you guys have seen my stories recently, I've been trying to find a way to keep myself organized. Like I mentioned before, this whole business stuff is so new to me and sometimes gets like slightly overwhelming, where I used to just be able to kind of remember something, a task, something to buy, whatever it be, and just kind of remember to do it later on. But I'm getting to a point where tasks are just getting too abundant and I'm starting to forget things like orders. So I don't want that to happen. So now I kind of have a system where I write everything down on a whiteboard. I have like my calendar whiteboard with deadlines and stuff. And then I have a whiteboard of tasks. And so far it's been doing great. And like I try to go to this area, I call it my office. It's just like a bar in my basement. But I go there every morning, where I try to at least just take a look at it and remind myself of what I need to do. If I've done it, I cross it off. If I'm forgetting something, I write it. And so far it's been about like maybe a week of me doing this, and it's been going very well. So yeah, hopefully that keeps up for me. I do go through like trends, I guess, where like something will work really, really good for me, and then I forget about it and I stop doing it. So I'm hoping this one sticks. All right. Oh yeah, Keyknife is a brand, very high quality tool. It's not. Oh, it's a brand. Thanks, Al. Didn't you? Awesome. I need help with pattern making, so can't wait. Barrier pliers, but long-handed ones. That stream sounds cool. Slip joint sheath. Sorry, guys. Just gonna go over some comments to make sure that I'm not forgetting anything.
You're seeing YouTube.
I'm seeing YouTube. I'm not seeing Instagram as much. I try to pop over on Instagram.
Yeah, what's your favorite project so far? What's that?
No, I did not. I don't think I'm there yet.
So Beyond the Fire School Survival says, what has been your favorite project so far?
What has been my favorite project so far? So that's one of the questions that I received. It's a tricky one. I think I don't have a favorite project per se, but more favorite tooling design. I like any project that has a lot of tooling opportunities. So anything with like a big surface area is always a lot of fun for me, especially, I mean, I work on projects with big surface areas that don't have tooling, which is still fun, but I prefer if I can actually get creative with it. So I really like doing like the gun slings, the guitar straps, belts. Belts are tricky because like again, like you have a lot of surface one way, but you don't have it like, I only have an inch and a half to work with. But I still enjoyed like there's still quite a bit of surface area to work on. So yeah, it would be more the tooling aspect of the project that I enjoy the most. Yeah. What is this 2-4 you speak of? What is this 2-4 you speak of? Not too sure what you're talking about. I'd buy those wallets for sure. Thanks, Emma. So once I actually have them, like, I don't know, where I would like them to be, I'll definitely probably start selling them. What's your favorite project? Good question. You go to the bar every morning? It's not a bar, it's my office. Converted. Used to be a bar. Have you tried a wallet with a cash clip? So I've actually been asked to make that. Do people still carry cash? Like, is that actually like a handy thing? Let me know if you guys actually carry cash. If there's lots of people that say they carry cash, I said that a lot of times. Maybe I'll consider doing one with a clip. This week you mentioned you bought something. What is that? So, actually, this is something I want to touch base on. I have noticed before I actually like go into like what I bought, I've been noticing that after like a long day in the studio, the shop, whatever, the space, I've been noticing my hands cramping up and I start getting like elbow pain. And I'm not that old, I'm only 29. So I think because of my job as a paramedic, I see what life could be in the future. I see a lot of unhealthy lifestyles. I see a lot of healthy people. And I definitely want to trend in a specific direction. I want to be a healthy, able person, someone that's not like in pain all the time. So I've been thinking on ways I could benefit myself to be able to do this career long term. So I've been trying to look at purchasing things that would help me. So I spent a good penny on a sander burnisher machine this week, something I've had my eye on for a while. And not only is it going to be like a huge time saver, but it's going to save my joints. All I think about is the amount. So like I have a bunch of belts that I'm going to need to burnish, and it's just a repetitive motion of burnishing. Burnishing for hours, I would just be going back and forth, and that would cause a lot of elbow pain. So using my sander burnisher, it would just really alleviate a lot of those issues, as well as obviously decrease the time spent on the project, therefore decreasing the price of the item. But anyway, so that was one major purchase I just did, thinking of myself and my future self. Another thing I actually got for Christmas, which I had never thought of before, but noise canceling headphones. So these ones have a built-in Bluetooth. And so when I'm stamping, especially now that I have the granite slab, I'm noticing the stamping is very like a sharp, loud noise every time you hit your mallet. So I've been using these noise canceling headphones just to help my ears. Don't want to get tinnitus. I don't have any hearing issues. So that's just one thing I'm trying to think of long term. And the other purchase that I got was the sewing machine. That wasn't necessarily me thinking of my body long term. It was more of the time saver. Like, why are you laughing over there?
Mom says water.
Water?
Being healthy.
Oh, drink more water. Yeah, probably. But anyways, the sewing machine is just a huge time saver. And hand stitching, again, my fingers get so cramped up after stitching any kind of project that's another thing that's going to save me in the long haul. So is this all things that are super necessary as a hobbyist? No, but I am thinking long term. I don't want this just to be a hobby. I want it to be my career essentially in the future. So I got to think that way. And that's why I'm making these big purchases. And that is why I'm thinking of my future body. Anyways, I feel like that kind of covered what I want to say about that. I'm going to drink some water now. I'm always worried you guys are going to hear me gulping when I drink water. Plug your ears. Okay, moving on. Whew, I feel like that was a long rant. Stop breathing. Hey, Karina. I tell people the same all the time. Yes, cash, always. Wow, lots of cash carriers. Okay, really? I carry cash, motion bills, water. Oh, that's your mom that said that. What are your business? What are your business and learning goals for 2024? What a fantastic question. Whew, that's a loaded question, I feel like. So, my business and learning goals for 2024. I think my biggest goal is to get my website actually going. So I have stuff on my website and I'll mention it here and there, but I don't advertise it as much because I feel like I don't have enough to offer to put on my website, which might be the wrong mindset. So I think working on my brand's inventory, actually, I guess that encompasses a lot more. Oh, how do I begin this rant? I kind of wrote something down. I just gotta. Okay. Hobby long term. So, I'm not good with words, so sometimes I need to think a little bit to say how I'm going to explain something. Business has been tricky for me because I think I'm trying to be a lot, I'm wearing a lot of hats. I am the crafter. Mind you, my husband is also wearing a lot of these hats. So when I say I do mean we. For the crafting part, that's just me. So there's the crafting part, there's the online social media part, there's the website, there's the bookkeeping, there's the taxes, there's the purchasing of supplies, there's time management, there's my full-time job that I'm dealing with on the side. And then all of that is branding. I guess is the main word I'm trying to get to is branding. So I really want to brand myself appropriately to what I believe I want my business to be. So Freak of Nature Co. Oh, I got a good example. I'm bouncing all over the place, but a lot of people use this example as kind of like words are really hard today. A good model to kind of go by. So if you look at Red Bull, for instance, go on their Instagram page, and there is not a single can of Red Bull on their Instagram page. They're trying to promote mostly a lifestyle. So I'm trying to take that model and almost do it for myself. I know I do post a lot of my leatherworking and stuff, but we have this whole other side of our business, which is the outdoor aspect of it. It's where we meet people and we try to influence people, and we're trying to build a community with all of these people. And we want Freak of Nature just to be, am I explaining this right? How do I say this better? I feel like I'm saying a lot of words, but it's not a lot making sense. So I guess I'm just going to try to simplify it. This year for 2024, I really want to work on Freak of Nature Co.'s branding. I think that sums it up way more easy than I was trying to go down that route. Sorry for that roller coaster ride. How long have you been doing leather work, and when did you start selling your work? So I have been doing leather work since 2020, so about 3 years now, and kind of started out as a COVID hobby. And I started selling I would say about 2 years ago, but again, selling very lightly, like very discounted. Like I would sell my goods for like the price of materials that it cost me. I would never pay or charge anyone for the time that I had put into it. But I'm at a point now where I've been really diving and digging into pricing. Holy smokes, there's so many topics I can go like deep dive into, but I'm gonna try to keep it light for this one. And maybe on future lives I can like go a little deeper in certain topics. But yeah, simply answered, I've been selling for approximately 2 years now, but 2023 being like my big year of being serious about it. What gloves do you use when you're dyeing? Where did I get them? I don't know. Just at a local hardware store. What are they called? Hollyard? Hollyard? I don't know. It's just what my home hardware had. I can tell you tinnitus sucks. Yes. So I've been actually noticing my ears ringing a little bit. I don't know if it's just like some little fluke or something, but I'm hoping it's not tinnitus starting up, which is why I'm always wearing my noise canceling headphones now. Use a rubber mat under the marble. It helps dampen. Oh, what a fantastic trick. Okay, that's a good idea. So right now I have like this board underneath my marble slab, but I should add maybe another mat underneath, a softer one. You are very talented. Thank you very much. Sorry guys, just catching up on some questions and comments here. I just want to make sure I don't miss anything. I've got to go now. Always a pleasure watching your vids. Also, I think I'm speaking for a lot of people. I'm loving the streams. Thank you so much, Emma. I appreciate that. You are doing just fine. You're doing great. How did you come up with your brand name? Actually, so I mentioned this in my last live, but a lot of people who watch my leather channel don't know that I have a second channel. Me and Tuna started an outdoor adventure YouTube channel in 2019, was it? 2020? Okay, so just a little bit before the leather stuff. But we just were trying to figure out what name suits us best. And we didn't want to pigeonhole ourselves or like niche ourselves down. So we're very much into fishing, canoeing, hunting. There's just so many aspects of the outdoors and nature that we are into that we just had to find a name that kind of encompassed it all. And we thought Freak of Nature was kind of perfect. And we took it, and here we are today, still repping it and put it into our leatherworking stuff now. I don't know. I just find it very suiting. I'm really happy that we went with that name. Hello from Nova Scotia. Question: how can we support your brand best? Honestly, showing up tonight, commenting, sending me messages. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm still trying to get the groove of things, like doing these lives. I love that you guys are interacting with me. Like you guys are teaching me stuff, and I don't want to claim that I know everything. So the fact that like it's a back and forth like conversation is really nice. And I think that's just the best you can do. I'm not going to say like buy my stuff, buy it if you want, I mean, but like I'm not going to like obviously implement that or force that. I just want the community of social media. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, that's pretty much what you can do. Just chat with me here. Dan from 3 Horse Leathers Co. I use horse hoof trimmers on copper. Oh my goodness. Gotta find me some horse hoof trimmers.
Gotta go see a local farmer.
Yeah, I'll go see a farmer, that's for sure. I use a yoga mat to cut off the dollar store under my... Okay, that's perfect, actually. That's a good idea. A yoga mat to put underneath my granite slab to dampen the noise. It's a really good idea. I love your outdoor videos as well. Thank you so much. So we put a lot of like, just to like go on about our outdoor channel a little bit. A lot of work goes into those videos. Me and Toon love the outdoors, but we also love filming. So every adventure is a new opportunity for us to make a video. And Tune does a fantastic job compilating everything together. It's just, again, tooting our own horns, I guess, a little bit, but he's improved so much from our first video. And it's a huge accomplishment for us because we learned everything we know off of YouTube. No one taught us how to film. No one taught us how to use a camera. No one taught us how to leather work. We literally started all this, we'll say, in 2020. And it's just been like an overload of information and learning and growth. So super proud of ourselves, but it's a lot. We're taking on a lot, but it's the time to do it now. We don't have many other obligations apart from our full-time jobs and like life, but we don't have kids right now, so it's the time to grind. I don't know why I started talking about that, but yeah, something about the outdoor. Oh, she loves our videos. Leatherwork question, perfect. When punching holes into multiple layers, how do you align the holes with the gouge marks on top or the bottom? Oh, so I used to try to do that. Okay, actually, that's a really good question. So I think if I'm understanding correctly, I'm going to have a sip of water before I explain this. So, no, I don't think so. I think I could explain it. So someone's asking, when I'm punching holes through multiple layers of leather, how am I getting my line, like my hole, to go straight through? So a lot of the times you would groove the exterior. Okay, maybe I do need to show it. What can I use? Oh no, we're using a knife sheath. Okay. Demonstration. So I have 3 layers of leather stacked up here, and I think what they're asking is how do I punch holes through the top part for it to line up with the back part. I used to struggle so much with this. I would always try, so I would literally punch my holes, and oftentimes I would groove kind of where I want my stitch line on one side and the other side. And then when I'd punch my holes, I would notice that they wouldn't line up and it would just be super frustrating and it doesn't look good. So what I've started doing is I don't punch through all 3 layers anymore. I will, when I have it like open, I literally count my holes. So I'll do my groove line and then I set my my punch to make sure it's starting on the same side. It's hard to explain. This is why I do videos, guys, and I don't just talk. So I count and I make sure it's the same amount of holes on one side than it is the other side. Then I glue my welt and then I'll punch through the welt. And then when I sandwich it all together, I'll add a little bit of contact cement along both sides. So as I sew, it like sticks together. And then the holes are just always perfect. I hope that answers that question. I'm going to do a video about it. And if that like did not make sense at all, message me and I'll do some picture demos or something. It's a really tricky task. It took me forever to figure out. And I know some people still do the 3 layers together. And I think what they do is they use an awl and they just go like one at a time. But I just find it really risky because it's super easy to kind of go at an angle with your awl. So that's why I like the method of counting holes. Always count your holes 3 times to make sure they're right. I love your work. It's inspiring. Thank you very much. See, I love hearing things like that. Algonquin Park and the backwoods camping. I love Algonquin Park too. That's where me and my husband go a lot. Give her an E. I know Tunis is like, don't whisper when you read, but I know you guys can also read the comments, so I don't want to say it out loud too much. Love everything you 2 are doing. Gotta get back to editing. Night, y'all. Good night, guys. Thanks for popping in. Are you going to start developing patterns for sales? So someone's asking me if I'm going to start selling my patterns. I have been thinking about it, not necessarily selling them quite yet. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm still figuring out my patterns, but I've been humoring the idea of getting Illustrator. And like I also mentioned before, we're learning so much in like such a short amount of time that Illustrator is like just, another thing I need to learn. So it's another platform I need to invest time in watching YouTube videos and just playing around with before I can like seriously use it. So I'm at a point where like, is it worth doing that right now? Like, is it a priority to start making my own patterns when I have most of them kind of written out in cardboard? So eventually, yes, but not anytime soon. I enjoy both channels. Thank you. Question: where do you source your leather? So I source my leather from a few different places. Um, I started out with Tandy. I feel like Tandy doesn't, at least where I'm from, Tandy's leather is not the greatest. I don't know. I'm just gonna say that. So then I found a place. It's called OA Leather Supply. He does an amazing job at like showcasing the leather on his website. He'll kind of show you the temper, show you how it looks and stuff, and he just does a really good job. Especially when you're buying online, it's really hard to buy leather online. And I don't have any leather shops around me, so it's kind of the only way to buy leather. But he does a great job. So OA Leather, I buy his Sepsi. I might be pronouncing that wrong. Just need a sip of juice. I've recently discovered Hand and Sew. They have a leather called Conceria 3S. Again, probably mispronouncing it, but it is the nicest veg tan ever. It is so soft and flexible, and it like burnishes and tools very, very nicely. So Hand and Sew. I get some leather from Buckskin Leather Supply. Buckskin. I think they're one of the only suppliers of Herman Oak in Canada, so great place there. And I always pronounce this one wrong. Pearlsdale. I'll link it at the bottom of this video where I get my leather. But there's a few different places. Again, depending on what I'm buying, I go to different places. But I'll definitely link all the places when I post this video on my channel. What camera do you use for your leatherwork filming? Oh, and my husband just left, and that's a question for him. I'm so bad.
A74.
It's an A74, Sony A74. I know it's a Sony, and I always get stuck at the numbers and letters after that. It's a good camera. It's really good for filming and for video. It's kind of a good cross. What? Video and photo. Good camera. Good camera. Hello from Sweden. Nice. Hello. Drill. Oh, drill. Yeah, some people drill. I'm assuming you're talking about for the holes. Yes. I just want to give you a shout out. I love your work. Keep up the amazing job. I can't wait to see what else you're creating. Thank you so much. I show your videos to everyone. Well, that's super nice. Hello from Minnesota. Awesome work. Question. What has been your most requested leather product so far? Knife sheath, axe sheaths, 100% knife sheaths. So someone's asking what my most requested item is, and it is for sure knife sheaths, which are really tricky to make sometimes because I need the actual knife to make the sheath properly. I can't make a sheath without it. Some people might be able to, but I want it to fit properly, so I would never take an order without the actual knife, which makes it a little tricky, but it's definitely the most requested. And I haven't forgot about your patches, Pete. Keep up the great work. You're doing just great. I tried OA Leather, but they charge a lot for shipping to the US. Oh, yeah, I guess so, eh? So that's one thing is I'm in Canada, so I try to find a lot of my suppliers here in Canada because I'm noticing that there's this little thing called a duty tax or duty or whatever when you cross the border. And it's always a little surprise. I always forget about it for some reason, so I just try to stay within Canada. Sometimes I can't help it, but I try my best. Where do you buy your tooling tools? I buy them kind of all over the place. I'm trying to think of where I would get it the most. There is a leather store that is a few hours away from me. It's called Zelikovic Leather. Just because they're so close. They're the closest store that I frequent sometimes. I'd like to see the tools, I guess. So I bought quite a bit there. Tandy's a good spot for tools. I don't have any fancy tools. All my tools are pretty pretty entry level, or like, I don't want to say cheap. They work really well. They're good tools, but they're like lower end cost. And you know what? They do just fine. I love them. And until I make millions, I'm just going to stick with them because they work fine. Make a gun holster. I request a gun. Yeah, no kidding. Because I guess with gun holsters, so that's actually something that a lot of people have been asking me to make too, is gun holsters. And uh, can't carry guns in Canada. So,
You don't want to be restricted.
well, yeah, and I also don't have my restricted gun license. So I can't take someone's handgun for, the weekend, wet mold it, and then give it back. So it's just something I can't dabble in. And that's fine. It's not something I think I really want to that much. It wouldn't be a huge request in Canada. I just get a lot of people from the States asking me. Do you ship to the US? Yes, I ship pretty much internationally, as long as you're willing to pay the shipping, of course, which gets pretty pricey. It's crazy because shipping within Canada is more expensive than shipping to the US. So I'm all for shipping to the US right now. Okay, there are some topics, I said this earlier, that I wanted to hit that I seem to keep forgetting to talk about. So one thing I want to mention is about my custom orders. I'm noticing that I have a few people on. Okay. So I keep telling people that I'm not taking custom orders, but I'm making an exception. If you are watching this live stream, whether you're live right now or if you end up watching it at a later date, I am opening up 5 spots for customs. So I'm just going to go first come, first serve. Just message me on Instagram or whatever. I think YouTube, I have my email there.
Obviously, email.
Yeah, email me. I have a website. Do that. So go to www.freakofnatureco.com. It's linked in my bio. Message me that you want a custom, that you were on my live chat, and if you're within the first 5, I will make you a custom. Just putting that out there. I'm not putting it as public information. I mean, I guess it's public because I'm saying it right now, but only the people that are watching the live are going to know about this. I do have some custom information on my website. So if you want to know what I actually make, I have a little bit of a list and price guide. So go check that out if you guys are interested. Throwing that out there. All right. Okay. What else do I want to hit on? Oh, I haven't been posting as much as I want to on my leather channel. And that's only because, I guess, if you've been following me for a while, and by a while I mean at least over a year, my setup's changed a little bit. I am in a new location. We bought a house recently. Well, recently this summer. So that really slowed video production down. What we try to do typically is kind of stock up on a bunch of videos and then release them every few weeks or whatever. But because of the move and just getting used to life in this new town, production has been slightly slow. And like I mentioned, it takes us about 3 days, 2 to 3 days to actually film a leather video just for one project. So when I get orders starting to come in, I have to prioritize that over videos, especially that I can get a few projects done in one day. When I'm filming, I'm only doing one project. So that is one reason why I've been slightly slacking on the YouTube videos. I was going somewhere with this. But no, I have a new one coming up probably next week. This one was really fun. I can't say too much about it, but it was no, the video wasn't sponsored. We partnered up with, I'm not going to say who. I feel like I shouldn't say it. I'll say it. We partnered up with Leatherman Canada, and we created a reel for them, which is going to go out next week. So I can't really show the video prior to them posting it. We had kind of collaborated on just a short form content. So we made a reel and some pictures for them. And we just also decided to make a long form video for them. They actually gave us this Leatherman arc, super nice Leatherman, and we created a little pouch for it. So If you guys are interested in seeing me wet mold for not my first time, but the first time on camera, go check it out. It's probably going to be next week. So that's it. It's my Leatherman. Just make sure there's no questions. When making an axe sheath, do you physically need the axe or can you work off of measurement templates? I'm not comfortable. So someone's asking if I can make an axe mask without the actual axe. I don't feel comfortable doing it. I'm sure eventually maybe I can do it, just knowing like how thick the axe head is and stuff. But for right now, I would need the axe, which again is the whole shipping thing. People would have to ship me their axe, risks of losing it and stuff. So that's the complicated part about customs for tools like that. I just messaged you in for custom work. Perfect. Leatherman, nice. Good collab. It was a lot of fun. And the reel we did for Leatherman, we pondered for so long on what kind of fresh idea we can bring them. I think we probably paced around the house for like hours just trying to think of ideas. And we finally nailed an idea, and the reel is actually really good. So I hope you guys do take the time to go look at it when it comes out next week. Wednesday specifically is coming out Wednesday. All right. What time do we have? Okay, we have 10 minutes left. I don't want to get into too much more. I'm just trying to go over. I wrote notes this time so I can actually stay somewhat on track, but I feel like I didn't do a very good job doing that. For future lives, like I said, this is probably going to be the last live that I'm kind of just randomly talking. I think next time I do a live, it's going to be structured. I'm either going to do a specific like teaching component or talk about my tools, just something a little more specific, more themed, I guess you can say. So I'm just kind of getting out the mumbo jumbo stuff for now. Oh, my belt. Okay, so if you guys have been again following me for a little bit of time, you've noticed that I've been talking about my belt launch for probably the last few months, saying how I want these darn things. I'm so excited for my launch, blah, 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 blah. It's happening. I keep saying it's in February, and I still think it's going to be in February, but it might be like February 29th. I'm hoping. So what I was talking about this kind of earlier when I went on Big Rampage. I know it's a good quality belt. And how do I explain this now? So there's a difference between just me saying my belts are done. Hey guys, my belts are on my website. Go check it out. It doesn't work that way, unfortunately. The world of today needs a little bit more persuasion when it comes to buying things. And again, me putting my little business hat on right now. Me and Toon have been trying to make this launch kind of mean something a little bit. I even put some thought into what I'm naming the belts. The belts are going to have a specific title to it, which is specific to why, like, there's a reason why I named the belts this, and I'm going to explain that to you, not right now, but when I do launch the belts. And we want to make some reels to catch people's attention. And I think that's the best way to market is now through social media. So that's what's really been holding us up, because at first it was the buckle dilemma. I couldn't find the right buckle for my belts, but now it's how to execute the launch properly. For example, again, I'm not trying to give myself a pat on the back or be self-centered in any way here. The first item we launched was patches, and I had made, I think, 50 patches. We made a few reels, and like I sold them for $12 a patch, and within, I think it was like 48 hours, I had sold out. And I think the reason for that is because we had made a lot of creative content kind of pushing the patches out there, whether it was people just wanting to support us and it was an affordable thing to buy. It worked really well, and I'm very proud of this first launch. But then I posted stuff on my website. I have some custom belts that like I'm super proud of. Like, it took me hours to make, and I have like this sheath that I freaking love, and it's been sitting on my website for probably a couple of months now. And I'm like, why? Like, well, why aren't people interested in it? People like give me a lot of comments and compliments on social media, but they're not supporting me with like buying it on my website. So I'm wondering, like, what did I do wrong? And I think like I didn't advertise it at all. There was nothing pushing people to my website or anything of the sort. So see, like, and I'm just going down a little rabbit hole. There's just a lot of things that I have to think about when I'm doing stuff. Like, I can't just make the product, put it on my website, and hope that it's just gonna sell. There's just so many other steps to it. And I think launching a new product needs to be done methodically or properly. So yeah, I just I just want it to be right. I put a lot of thought. Again, it's a very simple plain belt, but I put so much thought into it, and I just want it to go well. Is all I kind of want to say on that matter. So, end of the month, hopefully. Mm-mm-mm. Check out how Montana Knife Company creates launches or launch buzz around their blades because they only whoop, whoop. Oh, look at that. Somehow I put it on the screen. I don't know what the rest of that message is supposed to be there, Pete. But I will go check them out. All right. With that rant, I think we're almost done here, guys. I just want to make sure I kind of hit all the topics I wanted to. Belt launch. Why? Went over that. Went over that. Now there we go. You know what? That's pretty much it. I didn't ask you guys any questions like I wanted to. I wanted to have this really like a back and forth kind of live. But maybe we'll save that for another one. Why you silent live? Got gifts. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna put this out there. This is the last thing I'm gonna say, guys, before I head off. If you have any guests you would like, I don't know, to invite on this chat or have me invite on this chat, as much as I love monologuing and making a fool of myself by myself, I think some back and forth conversation would be fun. I was hoping maybe my husband would pop on this live with me today, but he didn't. So yeah, let me know if there's anyone you'd like me to reach out to, and maybe we can have like a back and forth, almost interview style live. I just want some different ideas because I don't want to just sit here once a month and have a conversation only around myself. I want it to be learning, entertainment. I want it to be educational and as much as possible. So shoot me some ideas. It doesn't even have to be about guests. Just shoot me ideas that you would like to see done on a live, and hopefully I can make that happen. Hopefully you guys enjoyed tonight. Again, it was all over the place, but it's my second one. We'll get better. We'll get more structured with time. Just making sure one last little check that I didn't miss anything. Keep going. Don't stop at 8. I gave myself an hour. I don't want to drag this on. Perfect. All right, guys. I'm calling it. It is 2 minutes to 8. I have nothing pertinent to add to this. So have a fantastic night or wherever you are. Goodbye. Awkwardly going to try to find the X out end stream button now. So have a fantastic night. And did it go? No, I'm still going. Okay.